If you lose, you're gone, you go home. Let's take a look at the other group, the red group, Sandy, because we're in a very similar situation there. The match that you just about to watch is Chanda Rubin versus Elena Dementieva, and simply put, the winner stays.
That's right. Kim Fleischer, she moved ahead a couple of days ago to the semifinal round. Chanda Rubin really has a big occasion here. She was the last one to qualify. In fact, she didn't know she was in this field of 8 until Venus Williams pulled out the day the draw was made, and she started off this championship with a good upset win over Mauresmo.
That became a very important match for Chanda Rubin. She would be down a set and 2 love, and she'd figure out a way to beat Mauresmo, who was coming off a big win last week in Philadelphia. Mauresmo was playing very aggressively, coming to net a lot, and finally, in the second and third sets, Chanda Rubin found a way to pass Mauresmo from both the backhand and the forehand ground strokes. She was thrilled to have this win because she did qualify last, and the pressure was on for Chanda to get through this match. Chanda would play Kim Fleischer in her next match and play beautifully. She would try to get in as much as possible. Kim Fleischer just a little too solid on the big points, but Rubin did exactly what she needed to do, and it was a much higher choose the victory than we expected.
I feel like Chanda Rubin has been playing a little bit without pressure during the week, free swinging. Today there is more pressure because the winner goes through to the semifinals, and she's facing an opponent in Dementieva. She doesn't have the best record against this year.
Well, they played 4 times this year, and in 2 finals this fall, Dementieva has been the winner. Dementieva is very quick, has a big forehand. The serve is a weakness. Chanda must capitalize by attacking that second serve.
Yeah, neither one of these 2 players possesses a very big serve, and of course the biggest shot on the court is the Rubin forehand, so we'll see if she can take advantage of the Dementieva serve.
Just to clarify, if Rubin wins, she goes through. Dementieva's not going to make it. Mauresmo will. Again, if Rubin does not win here in this section of the field, there is so much at stake, and I've always felt that Chanda Rubin needed this opportunity. Will it be Chanda Rubin, or will it be Elena Dementieva to spoil the party?
Season finale of
Dementieva and Rubin in this round-robin match, the final round-robin match for either player. Chanda Rubin qualified for this event 3 times, never won a match in the year-ending championship until this effort here. She has 2 titles this year, Madrid and Eastbourne. Some shoulder tendonitis late in the year, but she made the cut when Venus Williams pulled out with injury. Titles this year, Amelia Island, Bali, and Shanghai for Dementieva.
And that one in Amelia Island, Mary Jo, was her first ever. That was a big breakthrough.
Well, she beat Justine Arden, who had just come off a huge win over Serena in Charleston, saved a match point. And I think that really gave her the confidence the rest of the year to win 2 more tournaments this fall against Rubin in the final.
What was that, just about 6-7 weeks ago, right after the U.S. Open, there's a little indoor tour. I think it's mostly indoors in Asia, Bali, and then Shanghai.
And apparently in the final in Bali, Dementieva was just in the zone. I was talking to Benny Sims, Chanda Rubin's coach, before the match. He said there was nothing Chanda could do. Said in Shanghai, much closer match.
And as you all saw in Miami this past year, when Rubin had such a great tournament, when she's in the zone, sometimes there's not much her opponents can do either.
That's right. When her forehand is on, you better watch out. And now that she's coming in so much better, much more effective at taking advantage of her big weapon, the forehand. The big concern, though, tonight for Chanda's coach was how her nerves were going to be. It's too good from Dementieva. Rubin puts a lot of pressure on herself. Benny Sims, Chanda's coach of the last 5 years, wanted her really just to look at this as one more match and play relaxed. Well, that's easier said than done.
Well, it's relative, that comment. It's relative. Obviously, everybody feels the pressure. Dementieva's got it also. It's how you handle it.
It's one of the great sports cliches. It's just another match. It's just another competition. It's the 100-meter dash at the Olympics.
Dementieva winning the first game. This is Chanda Rubin talking about Elena Dementieva.
She believes that, you know, she can play at the top of the game. I think that's been the most important breakthrough for her. But, you know, again, it's a match where, you know, I can really test myself, force myself to be aggressive and to really put pressure on, you know, a player like her who's basically going to play from the baseline. It's going to be very solid. But, you know, it's a match where I have to use the whole court and use, you know, not only my baseline game but also my net game.
Rubin has realized in the last couple years that it's not good enough for her just to stay on the baseline and trade ground strokes with the top players. The top players are so quick these days, they're so solid that Rubin needs to get to net, put some balls away, and she has very good feel, very good anticipation when she gets there.
Yeah, Kleisters saw that the other day. Kleisters jumped out to a pretty good lead early in the first set, and then Rubin played her pretty even the rest of the match, losing 6-4, 6-4. Showing you that she can sting the two-handed backhand as well, forcing the error from Dementieva. It's got to be tough coming out on round robin when you're 0-2 and you know you've got no chance. I mean, you got to find somehow. There is a prize money differential. Play for pride a little bit.
Just so you know, in the men's round robin that starts on Monday in Houston, and ESPN will be there, of course, each round robin match is worth $100,000, and I think it's probably worthwhile WTA to consider $3 million purse, making the same sort of money available round robin, just so that there's. I don't look. These are all professional athletes. The idea that they're going to play a match in the World Championship round robin and not try, I just don't buy it.
No.
Rubin holds. Jennifer Capriati tonight in action against Messina. That's at 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 out here on the West Coast. The winner will take on Kim Kleisters in the semi-final. So we're watching a match here that is crucial for Chanda Rubin to make it to the semis. And again, tonight you can watch Jennifer Capriati try to do the same.
By Rubin. You see Rubin with a lot of power all the time. Not too often does she go to the drop shot.
Page out of
Justine Arden's book.
Right.
Which is growing in pages each and every week. Pretty quick dimension, isn't she?
Very quick.
So that is really a good drop shot.
By the way, Capriati's been doing everything possible to get herself in the best shape today with her hip flexor injury, doing a lot of jacuzzi and hot and cold contrast. Give herself a chance to get to the semis.
If Dementieva is quick, what you just said, what has held her back?
Well, we've talked about her serve a lot. I mean, her serve in women's tennis these days. I mean, look what Anna Arden's done with her serve in the last 12, 18 months. She's built it up to a big serve, 110 mile an hour fairly often.
You used to say, Pam, that she had also just a one game plan and she didn't have a lot to fall back on. Is that true?
Very true. She was very one-dimensional. Now she's willing to take a few more chances and come to net, take advantage of her forehand. That's her weapon. Her backhand has improved, but she gets away with this weak second serve because she is so quick.
And here is one. Oh, she hit that.
And a lot of the players have trouble with that no-pace second serve. They'd rather see a serve that's a little bit more solid, that gives them more rhythm.
Actually, 82 miles an hour is probably about 15 more MPHs than what we have seen in the past on that second serve. And I think we'll probably see some of both. Some where she gambles like that last one, and others where she just kind of rolls the arm over.
Break point.
Under pressure here at break point, down second serve, it'll be interesting to see if she gambles at all.
Ooh, that second serve that you both talked about, past serve. Chanda Rubin has got the breaker serve first. Beach, baby beach. Where's the background music? Da, da, da.
Don't look at us.
Now, can you find another place for your backpack?
Head speed from Dementieva, but behind the baseline, really accelerates on the forehand. She could pretty much hit any corner of the court with this shot.
Look how far back she was. She was almost outside the doubles court, well behind the baseline. Slammed it. I do think her power quotient, Cliff, has also taken a step up. And let's face it, in women's tennis the last few years, that's been vital that you stay up in the power times. Oof.
Chanda Rubin is much more aware these days of when to move in, when to finish off points at the nets. Much more alert on the court.
Her volley play out wide, forcing Dementieva to go with a one-handed return. Such a defensive return, couldn't get it back.
Sorry.
It's hard. I was just going to mention that since knee surgery beginning of '02, Rubin's actually been pretty healthy, and that's been a huge reason why she's been able to be consistent.
It's funny because I asked her this week, I said, okay, how's the body feeling? Any aches and pains? She goes, well, I always have aches and pains these days, but everything is under control. The knee's under control. The wrist is under control. She had a little bit of a shoulder tendonitis in the summer, but that's okay.
Raising the bar and the power stakes. Pam, you go back to there was Chrissy, of course, and then Martina raised that bar a little bit, right? And then you had let's see, Graf, of course. You had Monica Seles. Did she raise it above Graf?
Absolutely, off both sides. She hit it harder. I mean, Graf's forehand was probably the biggest shot of those 4 ground strokes, but on each side, never had the balance been so powerful as with Seles's.
Of course.
Another level.
And that was with not only forehand, backhand, but the serve and the big swinging volley. I mean, every shot they hit.
The movement.
And point Rubin. Good for the game? Really not. Log on to ESPN.com. Let's have a chat about that. Ask us a question.
I'll tell you what, I think more and more of the women are showing you a good mix, like we're seeing right here in this match with Rubin leading the way. She's got the huge forehand. She's hit a couple of big backhands, but she's coming in net a bit. And remember, when you mentioned all those #1 players who raised the power bar, there have been a couple of players who didn't rely on power that got to #1. Sanchez Vicario, Hingis. And now Anna Ardern, even though she has more power than the other two, her game, you don't think of power the first thing.
Deceptive.
Yeah, you don't think of power the first word out of your mouth about her game.
But you're under pressure the whole time when you play against Elena Arden.
Sort of like a female Leighton Hewitt. Close. Playing very contained.
Very contained. But I actually think Elena Arden is much more aggressive than Leighton Hewitt. She's looking to come in. She's looking to hurt you with her serve, with her variety.
I agree.
Yeah, I think in power relations to the men's tennis, women's tennis, I think Elena Arden has more power.
15 all.
Can't help if you're Dementieva not to have let down. She also had the day off yesterday, so I think if she played day after day after day, even though she was out of the round robin, she could have kept herself up. But to have that day off, I think you really look at your year as, you know, you're starting to put a period on the year, and then all of a sudden, I got to play one more match. You know, I can't get to the semis, but so she's wrestling with that right now, and she may very well find the answer. Right now, Rubin, you can tell she has more of the motivation.
Dementieva beaten by Kim Clijsters and Amelie Mauresmo. Clijsters has won all 3 of her round robin matches.
While we have a quick second, a fan of ours, Marge Rucker, is recovering from surgery. Want to wish her well. We need all the fans on ESPN Tennis that we can get.
This could break this first set wide open. 2 breaks if she gets this one. Break point.
Well, she's already double faulted once on a break point. Rubin should have that in mind and really threaten her with her return position, which she's not doing yet. Yeah, I really feel it's important in a situation like that when you're up a break and your opponent's already shown some of the vulnerability on serve and you possess the big forehand. You've got to take your position out into the doubles alley, dance around a bit, move it, see if you can't bait another double fault.
I agree with that, but I think Chanda realizes that second serve 90% of the time goes to her forehand because Dementieva slices it so much, so she's leaning over to the forehand corner.
It's a timing thing when you make your move over on the return, and then as they go to serve, you go ahead and cover the hole. But that is a great approach. Didn't get much.
Right on that baseline.
Dementieva escapes a chance against her in that serve game. 3-2 Rubin with a break will serve, and we come back live here to this year-ending championship.
The Home Depot is more than a store.
Elena Dementieva of Russia and Chanda Rubin, USA. This is Rubin serving with a break. 3-2 first set. If Chanda Rubin wins this match, she will be in the last 4 of this year-ending championship. The Staples Center in LA.
Should probably be your biggest semi-final berth since the Australian Open semifinals in 1996.
Well, there's no bigger tournament for women tennis players outside of the Slams than this year-ending championship.
That's right. It'd be a tremendous effort for Rubin, who got back in the top 10 this year for the first time since that 1996 great performance.
The NASDAQ 100 is the biggest tournament out of the Slams, right? Outside, but if you said to one of these 8 women, would you rather win the NASDAQ 100 or this? Would it be close or
no.
just
Championships? You have the best of the best here, the elite, and now that it's just 8 players, it means even more. It's that much more special.
Rubin holds, maintains the break. Tonight at 7:45 Eastern, Heisman hopeful Larry Fitzgerald and the Pittsburgh Panthers look to remain undefeated in Big East play as they welcome Kevin Jones and the Virginia Tech Hokies to Heinz Field. College football Saturday on ESPN. Also available, by the way, on ESPN HD. Now available nationwide.
What's a Hokie?
Pokey?
Oklahoma are not Hokies. That I know for sure.
No.
They had a huge win today.
But they just did the hokey pokey all over Texas A&M.
What was the score?
77 zip.
Oh my.
And to give them credit, they didn't run up the score. They didn't score a point in the 4th quarter. It was that score after 3 quarters. Wow.
Right out of the air, big swing, very authoritatively struck. Dementieva, trouble in a lost serve game, 15-all now.
Yeah, she saved the break point, and that was to go down 2 breaks. Very much still alive in this set. She can hold here as the set moves along. Rubin, again, is the one that's going to feel the pressure in this match. She has something riding on it, a semifinal berth where Dementieva cannot qualify no matter what happens here.
More topspin needed on that last forehand. Sailed long on Dementieva.
Dementieva only serving 44%, so Rubin's having a good look at the second serve, a lot of them. But she's not winning that many. Dementieva's actually holding her own, close to 60% wins, which is better than her first serve. It's another second serve, .1.
Rubin prefers the pace. She prefers that consistent, harder serve that bounces up a little bit more. That second serve has more slice, and it's lower.
But that 84 mile an hour, maybe it's the height of it, but that still has enough pace, I feel, for Rubin to not use that as an excuse. We saw down at Amelia Island when Dementieva played Davenport some like 68, 69 mile an hour serves. Those are the ones some of these power players hate.
Second double fault for Dementieva. Rubin, another chance to break here. She had that chance in the last serve game of Dementieva. Now, this is for an insurance break. First set leading 4-2. Dementieva, after the US Open, won Bali in Indonesia. That was over Rubin in the final. Then she won back-to-back titles. This one in Shanghai, again over Rubin in the final.
Which match do you think's bigger, say a Bali final win for Dementieva, or if Rubin has a win here to get the semis of the Tour Championship? Kind of interesting.
Oh no, I don't think there's any question. But
you think here?
Is a big one, oh, for sure.
Then winning a tour title though is big.
Well, for Dementieva, the final was much bigger since she's out.
No, I understand that, but I mean Dementieva versus Rubin now.
Rubin. And it is 4-3. Rubin in front. Breaker serve. She'll serve when we come back live here to the Staples Center. Rubin serving here with the breaker serve first set. That's the first point. Goes to Dementieva, love 15.
And that was a 78-mile-an-hour second serve, which is not as strong as Dementieva's. Dementieva's been serving her, so Rubin had to eat that return. Start him early watching tennis out here in Los Angeles.
I wonder who that kid is. I mean, you could just tell.
Cute.
She's like her mother. She eats a lot.
All day long. It's Isabella, who, by the way, loves watching tennis. She's got her little racket already and has a mean forehand, better than Cliffy's.
She is all over the... I mean, she's just, you know, she's riding in the bus this morning. She's looking at everything. She's just great. Better than my forehand?
Yep. You just picked
Not
that
your
up.
backhand, though.
Right.
That would have been right to the heart. Well, no wonder Rubin started that point with a 67-mile-an-hour second serve. So as she's getting more and more tight, she's got a break advantage to win the first set, and she's getting tight before her eyes.
She's had a couple opportunities to have two break advantage. Not been able to convert.
Hit a big first serve on that one, but did not capitalize. The return short and the two-hander wild.
And she mishit the backhand approach. I mean, it was a pretty routine. I mean, she almost could have just picked a spot and hit a clean winner. First break point for Dementieva.
Got away with a very slow second serve, Rubin, 58 miles an hour. Dementieva did not attack it, and then she's the one who came up with a bad unforced error.
Seemed like 76, 64, 58 on the second serve. She needed that first serve. Well done.
Good point there from Chanda Rubin. She stays in front barely here in this first set. Maintains the break. Red group standings with Kleister's 3 wins already under her belt. She's through. She's in the semi-final. The question is who will join her. Chanda Rubin will if she wins this match. If she doesn't, it'll be Amelie Mauresmo. So Rubin has earned her way to the semi-finals if she gets there with a win over Mauresmo. We were saying first round robin matches that they played, well, you know, if they lose this one they can get in, but every match here is so big, you really can't afford to lose that first round-robin match. You can in theory, but you've really got to win it.
Whoa. Oh, just love that follow-up.
Well, since being break point down on her own serve, Rubin, she's really forced herself to be aggressive, to move in. It's a struggle for her because her nature is really to play from the baseline. It's just been in the last 18 months that she's developed and got comfortable with moving forward. She's got to swing away. She's got to keep hitting the ball hard.
Points away from the first set. Someone for Isabella to play with.
Another little one enjoying the tennis.
Missed a couple of returns on the deuce side in this game, and not off imposing serves either. When you're trying to break for the first set, get the ball in play first.
I think that one skidded off the line. That's why Dementieva caught it late. A rhythm when Dementieva serves. That was a big first serve from her, 101 miles an hour. You don't know if she's just going to push it in or really go after it. You have to be on your toes.
Game point.
Actually, something I wish I had considered more when I served was to change up the pace of the first serve more and have a wider range. If your hardest serve is 110 and you can hit also a 90-mile-an-hour first serve with some spin. I mean, it's the same thing as a pitcher with 3 or 4 different pitches that he could go to confuse the batter. I don't know if it's that calculated as far as dimension is concerned.
I don't think so. I don't think it's on purpose. I think she just gets up to that line and whatever happens, happens. But someone who does mix it up very well is Serena. She doesn't go through a whole game hitting her first serve as hard as she can. She'll mix it up and kick a few, slice a few into the body. Why she's such a good server.
Dementieva holds on again, and only one break of serve is behind us. Find out here if Chanda Rubin can convert for the set.
We live in a world of illusions. You see something, you think it's real. Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it's not. Like counterfeit here.
Staples Center that hosts so many of the great local teams, including the Lakers and the Kings and the Sparks.
And the Clippers.
The Clippers.
Right near the convention, right adjacent to the convention center.
Kleisters came out on Sunday before the tournament started and watched the Lakers. Big Laker fan, Kim Kleisters.
Lakers have gotten off to a good start despite all the headlines away from the court.
This is Chanda Rubin serving for the set, 15-all. Pam, you live here. What happened to the Forum? Still there?
Yeah, it's still there. Yeah, they had Davis. Remember, they had Davis Cup there a couple of years ago. They have had other events in there since then. Oh, a little bit of a hesitant call. Just out.
Huge moment here. First set, 15-30. Only one breaker serve, but there have been a lot of chances in this set. 4 in all. And remember that the last 2 times these two played were in tournament finals, tour tournament finals, both won by Dementieva. Break point here. Benny Sims is watching this match closely, obviously, Chanda Rubin's coach. Break point.
Both players, interestingly enough, have a higher winning percentage with their second serve than they do with their first serve.
It's a lot of errors off that return on the second serve.
Has not yet won a set this year-end championship. Trying to prevent Rubin here from taking the first set.
Wide and a set point for Rubin. Chanda Rubin, USA, is on the board. 1 set to her. Tennis this year mourns the passing of one of its greatest ever players. Tennis lost one of its groundbreaking.
Yeah, Gibson piece was really nice, and all tennis players remember Althea Gibson. In fact, there's an Althea Gibson Foundation that lives on in her name and doing good things in the New Jersey area.
She was from Wilmington, North Carolina, which is also the home for one of our technical staff here, by the name of Bob Rosberg. Also the home, just by the way, of Michael Jordan. 30, make that love 30. 15-30.
I like that approach. I kind of had a little flashback. That slice forehand.
I had a
approach.
flashback. I saw that approach from you all the time.
But it didn't have a lot of pace. It brought Dementieva off the baseline, and there wasn't the power, and missed it. Missed a pretty routine pass, it looked like.
Rubin with a break in the second set now.
Porsche match summary. First set to Chanda Rubin, 6 games to 4. Both with the same amount of service percentages. We mentioned that the second serve was a telling point, although percentage wins on the second serve are pretty good. Good winners for Dementieva, but unforced errors, 5 more. And perhaps that and the 1 break point, that was the whole first set.
That's right. The beginning of the first set, when Rubin was able to break, that made all the difference.
made the difference, yes, but it was also a story of missed opportunities, because there were 3 break chances for Dementieva. She didn't break, and there were 4 in all there for Chanda Rubin. About 15.
Well, if Dementieva starts just slugging the ball like that and committing more unforced errors, then I really think that the championship's starting to see the finish line to her season. Ooh, the neck cord judge was in danger there.
She played a lot of doubles last year and got a little bit more comfortable moving forward. She actually won the season-ending championship.
Husarova?
Husarova. Reached the semis of Wimbledon this year, beating the Williams sisters along the way.
With Krasnoyarskaya?
Another Russian.
We saw that match, didn't we?
We did.
They both returned very well in that match. Played unconventional. Played a lot of the doubles match against the Williams sisters from the back of the court and just slammed the ball back like that.
Break point.
Rubin's backhand has improved so much over the last few years. When she first came on the tour, the forehand was the only shot that she would hit winners with. The backhand, she just put it back in play. Not anymore.
Boy, that's nice comebacks now. That is 5 points, 5 chances that Dementieva has had, and she hasn't broken.
3 in the first, 2 here in this game in the second set. Rubin likes that out wide serve. She's hit a neck cord earlier in this game that would have given her a pretty good opportunity, and that one missing wide.
Did not stop in time to make the adjustment. That ball goes way long, and another chance here. The 6th chance to break for Dementieva. Ground strokes finally taking their toll. Breakers serve for the first time. 1 apiece, second set.
A break was pretty much inevitable on Rubin's serve. Dementieva returns well, and I think Rubin did well to kind of hold her off until then. Now Chanda knows that it's still a lot of hard work in order to have one of the biggest wins of her career, earn herself a semi-final spot in the year-end championships. This is where the mind starts to come into play more and more as you try and close it out.
Talked in the first set about the power stakes in women's tennis. I also wonder if there isn't a fitness stakes we should be talking about. Justine Henin, Dan, in my view, is #1 in the world now because she made such a commitment to her fitness and training.
What's interesting, Cliff, is when you are super fit and strong, it doesn't automatically mean the mental side comes along with it, but oftentimes it can, and I feel like that's the case with Anna Arden, is both those two components, the physical side and the mental side, grew at the same time, and it was in 2003, hence #1.
I think it takes a tremendous amount of mental pressure off you when you know that you can play 5 sets and not wilt.
Exactly, and let's face it, both Kim Clijsters and Anna Arden play a lot of tournaments throughout the year.
Point Dementieva.
And you have to stay fit, you have to be healthy to play consistently.
I'll be anxious to see how both react in 2004, whether or not they're able to keep the injuries at bay that have hit so many of the other top players.
Game point at 40-15, 1 apiece, second set.
It's in.
Hustle from both. You're watching live coverage here of the year-ending championship for women's tennis. Great point. Dementieva leading now 40-30.
Incredible hustling by Dementieva. She was in every corner of the court.
I think Chanda was teasing her with that one.
Probably like, go ahead, put your racket on that one.
Could have hit it a little harder down the line so she didn't have to think. Can I get to this one too? Nice smile for someone who hasn't won a set yet, 0 for 5.
Cliff Drysdale, Pam Shriver, Mary Jo Fernandez. It's Dementieva and Rubin. The final round robin match. And if Chanda Rubin wins this match, she'll be in the semifinal of the year-ending championship.
That's an interesting point. Dementieva led 40-love in this game. Back to deuce. Rubin had the break advantage right away in the second set after winning the first. Lost serve for the first time in the last game. Suddenly servers having a little pickup here to start the second.
That the other players on the tour realize what Anna Arden did to get to a #1. Do they have to up the fitness stakes in their own game?
Sure. I think whenever you have a new #1, you see what they've done to get to that spot, and it forces everybody to step it up. And I really feel that Serena and Venus were the cause of so many of the other players, including Kim and Justine, to say, okay, if we're going to compete with the Williams sisters day in, day out, we have to be as fit as possible. We can't get tired against them.
Venus and Serena were here earlier in the week for a charity fashion show Monday night, showing off a couple of their fashion lines. Serena's still in town.
This for a third straight serve break in the second set. 1 break only in the first. 6-4 Rubin. Chanda Rubin breaks again, 2-1 Rubin. First set to her. She's trying to get to the semifinals, the final 4 here at the year-ending champs. Year-ending championships for women's tennis. Welcome everyone. Bank of America WTA championships. Chanda Rubin serving up a break in the second, and 1-0 taken on Elena Dementieva, who beat her the last 2 times they played in tour finals. If Chanda wins, she gets to the final 4. If she loses, Amelie Mauresmo makes it to the semis.
But that's Dementieva. See, for those of you who haven't been watching all week, don't know the new round robin format.
round robin matches. Jennifer Capriati needs a win tonight, taking on Anastasia Meskina. Please join us for that match. That's at 1 o'clock Eastern time and 10 o'clock out here on the West Coast. The winner of that match will be in the Final Four.
Yeah, that's the difference. That match is more like a regular tournament where the winner moves through. Where this, the winner doesn't necessarily move through, because if it's Dementieva, she still goes home.
Went up to Dementieva before the match, said, listen, I want you to hit forehand winners like that.
We'll give you some foie gras and a bottle of Dom Perignon.
Only you could come up with that, Mary Jo.
I wonder if she's watching. Almost better not to.
Can you imagine if she sat right behind Rubin and was just vexing her the whole time? Of course, no. Mauresmo is such a nice young lady that would never happen. I talked to her at the beginning of the week, and she was the only player in the field that had never, ever been to Los Angeles. It's kind of hard to believe because they play in this area besides the summer stop, and here the last 2 years. She was injured last year, qualified. Indian Wells, of course, just a couple hours east of Los Angeles. The Pacific Light Open is played there.
Big serve for Rubin to save another break point. 100 miles an hour up the tee, back to deuce.
Big as this breakpoint statistic. Dementieva has broken once. She's had 7 chances. Rubin's had 6 chances, but broken 3 times. Another chance here for a break.
Ice cream. You scream.
We all scream. Rubin doesn't have a huge serve, but she's doing a good job of mixing it up. She's hit the corners a few times. She's gone up into the body a few times as well.
First hold of the second set. Drum roll.
3-1 Rubin. First set 6-4, just one break, and you had the feeling in that first set that things would change in terms of more breaks of serve, and they have. So that was a hold. 1-3.
Rubin was almost in the same position, but in Dementieva's situation, in her opening match, down a set 6-4 2-love to Mauresmo. Still won the match. So Rubin knows she wants to continue to hit high-quality shots like that return. She couldn't get up 2 breaks in the first set, but would love to do it here in the second.
Take a little pressure off. A lot at stake for Rubin, trying to get into her first semis of the championships.
It'd be pretty impressive to go from never winning a match in the championships, having qualified, I think, 3 or 4 times.
It's her 4th time.
4th time. To then winning a couple of matches in the round robin and getting through in the just an 8-person, much more elite field than the previous 24 years, which was a 16 straight elimination.
It's been a success, hasn't it? I think.
Oh,
Don't you think?
I think so. I mean, from talking to the players, they've all enjoyed it. They all like the new format.
I think from a promotional standpoint, it's much easier to promote because you have your top players that are going to play 3 of the 4 nights or days of the round robin.
And you lose a star, and she's not gone. She's got a couple more to play. She loses a match. I'm all for it. Forte from Dementieva, who enjoys chess and skiing. The parents or the coach?
Her mom plays a pretty active role. Her mom was a toxicologist. Oh, that's Hantakova's mom. All right, well, some Eastern European player's mother is a Hantakova. Now, there's someone who we thought at the beginning of the year would be in this championship. Boy, did she fade away, both with her weight and her play.
Dementieva holds 3-2 Rubin, 6-4 Rubin first set, break a serve. Rubin will serve and we come back live to LA. Rubin wins the first point of the game. She's in front with a break in the second set. She won the first 6-4. Just by the way, Dementieva says that if she wasn't a tennis player, she would be a doctor then, because she's got a grandmother and an uncle who are doctors.
Ah, that's what it was. We understand Mauresmo, who's waiting for the outcome of this match to see if she will be in the semifinals, is not here watching today. Hopefully she is sightseeing for one off day in Los Angeles.
Possible that she's watching and listening to you, Pam?
Very possible.
Very possible. But hopefully she did some sightseeing before the start of the match, and again after. Come on, Amelie.
15-0.
It was a little lull in the middle of this match. I didn't think Rubin was coming to net all that much. But the last couple of games, she started to pick it up again. She really has done it well. She's played the net position well throughout this championship, and she doesn't want to give that up now, especially under the pressure. Pensive Benny Sims, coach of Rubin.
Surprised Chanda Rubin with his backhand up the line. Clean winner.
Monday Night Countdown provides comprehensive analysis, interviews, highlights, up-to-the-minute NFL news, live reports from the site of ABC's Monday Night Football games. Stuart Scott, Tom Jackson, Michael Irwin, Ron Jaworski. Chris Mortensen provides league news as well. Alex Flanagan hosts backstage interview. The game, Philadelphia in action against the Packers. Monday Night Football. Rubin leads 4-2.
It's an interesting matchup of a couple of pretty handy quarterbacks. Brett Favre, Donovan McNabb. One kind of towards the end of his career. Hasn't missed a game in, I don't know, 10 years, 12 years.
Again, that boost to the net works just fine.
And I like when the volleyer, Cliff, doesn't overplay the volley. I mean, she just kind of hit the angle cross court a little short, which was tough for Dementieva to handle.
Pam, I can ask you about any player, right? Maria Jones says, well, what do you think she should do? And what's Pam's answer always?
That more?
That's right.
Oh, well. all your perspective on from whence you came.
Doesn't make you wrong.
But you know what's fun, though, is I feel like in the last 18 months,
You've seen more of it.
It's happening. They're becoming more, the players are becoming more all-court oriented. Clijsters, of all the players, I think, who still kind of hangs around that baseline more than her athletic ability, and she's a good volleyer, plays a ton of doubles. She needs to come to net more.
Well, we were worried because a lot of players were hitting winners like this from Chanda Rubin without a problem. Players weren't able to get them back. Now players are so fast, they get that extra ball back, so you do have to do a little bit more.
A little bit more of it in the men's game, too. Henman and then Taylor Dent, Roger Federer.
Break point for Rubin. Go up 5-2. And a second serve.
And a gift from Russia's Dementieva. Rubin has the second insurance break. She'll serve for the match. Chanda Rubin serving for the match in the place in the semifinal of this year-ending championship here in Los Angeles. 15 love.
You can see how Rubin plays this game. She's come to net often and with pretty good success throughout this match. And at the height of the pressure on her to serve to close it out.
That's well played by Rubin. Staying relaxed through that last shot, waiting for Dementieva to commit to the cross court. Dementieva trying a little drop shot. Sees the opening. 2 points away for Chanda Rubin. Qualify for the semis.
Is she going to go for the big first serve?
She's starting volley, and I think that's a good play. You want to stay aggressive. It's so much easier when you're down to swing away and be loose, but when you're winning and you're serving for such a big occasion, you tend to get tight.
And the return kind of handcuffed her. It was kind of into the body. Rubin taking a few extra seconds here. Down the break point.
Great defense from Rubin, and then Dementieva had her chance, open court volley, and she ducked it.
Not sure we're going to see it, but it looked like she totally took her eyes off the ball. Her eyes were nowhere near where they should have been. I think Chanda's happy to have a little time to get her heart rate back down a bit.
Those chances for Dementieva, 9, and she's only broken once. Second serve.
Punishes the weak second serve on an inside-out backhand. Too short in the service box.
break point of the match.
Got it.
And Dementieva breaks.
Dementieva hangs in and seen some pretty good tennis. The Porsche shot of the day is going to show you some all-court action, stretching Dementieva wide with a return. Look at that nice volley. Dementieva all over the court.
There's a scramble by Dementieva. She's so quick, but Rubin in the end, the little putt the line would win the Porsche shot of the day.
We actually had another point nominated, and then we quickly flicked that one out of the way, and that one became the lead nominee.
3-5 as she breaks for the second time. Dementieva was still down a break. 15 love.
Well, this set is a perfect example, or a really good example, of why you want the second break in a set. And I guess it will become a perfect example if Rubin gets back to 5-4 and manages to hold the second time she tries to serve for this big opportunity to get to the semifinals.
It's a big if, as you well know, Pam, serving for the match, obviously, and a huge occasion, a chance to get the year-end championship semi-final. Dementieva knows that. So these become big points for her to force Rubin into that situation.
And the servers struggled all set long, losing 5 of the 8 games.
Which in turn Rubin knows, which means she is giving it everything she has to not have to serve the match.
And from 30 love, it's now 30 all. Rubin can, at this point, it'll be match point. She does not want to come out and have to serve for it again.
Off that return from Rubin. She got the forehand. That's her favorite shot. Didn't go after it. Gave Dementieva a chance to stay in that rally. And now it's a game point for Dementieva.
From the hotel says, come on, Elena. Rubin to serve for the match for the second time, and you come back live to LA.
Our Aeon between the lines, we like to pick out an important stat and kind of show you why the match has happened a certain way.
And Chanda Rubin all week long has been coming to net very successfully. She's worked on her transition game all year long. She's been very precise at the net. She's come in 23 times, winning 18 of those points. That is a great stat. Dementieva's done well as well.
Again, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier about the all-court nature more and more of women's tennis. And certainly from our standpoint, it makes it for more fun call to talk about different kinds of shots.
Chanda Rubin serving for the match. Last time she served, she had 30 love. Lost her serve now, 15 love.
Dementieva missing her usually steady two-handed backhand. And you know, deep inside, Chanda Rubin's going, phew, that's first point. That's a big hurdle, 15 love.
That was a good play all around. That was just a good return of serve. She hits a great serve, comes into the net, and then she's on the defense.
I'd rather see Chanda lose the point by coming in and doing the right thing than just waiting in the baseline, hoping that Dementieva will make the unforced error.
I don't know, that 90-mile-an-hour first serve coming in behind it was such a great two-handed return. It's very tough. That's got a little more on it, 95, and Dementieva had to move a step to her left, to her backhand side, whereas the point before on the ad side, Dementieva didn't really have to move.
2 points away from a place in the Final Four.
Net play by the Russian. Great one-handed backhand going away from Rubin, then a stab on the forehand volley. Kept firm, lunged at it. Saw that doubles. That would paying off.
That would have been 2 match points.
30-all.
Had Dementieva maybe looked for the line a little bit, or if Rubin had just got a little more dip on it.
Even so, it was a framer.
No.
Great point to get back even in the second now for Dementieva.
A lot of pressure on Rubin. Her coach Benny watches on, trying to make it to the semis for the first time. A sigh of relief.
That was close. Hey, we've seen it both ways with Chanda Rubin in her career. No lead is safe, whether she has it or her opponents have it. One of the reasons she's fun to watch.
We've also seen Dementieva come back quite a few times. When she's down, she just relaxes and swings away. Beat Enna Arden earlier this year, saving a match point, and against Davenport in the finals, Amelia.
Great point.
Back.
Dementieva going for the first strike kill.
Which is 66-mile-an-hour second serve, has that sign out as it's coming across, fluttering across the net. Go for it.
Second serve deuce. Double fault serving for the match.
Only 3 in the match, 2 in this game. Begins with an N. Nerves.
And the older you get, the more nervous you become, the more it means.
People always think the more experienced one will know more how to close it out, but it doesn't work that way oftentimes.
8 point second serve. And a steer, long, even, 5-2, 2 breaks of serve. Rubin had been broken twice, 30-love on her first serve game, 15-love on the second. Benny Sims, the coach, can hardly swallow. You're watching live coverage here from Los Angeles of the year-ending championship of women's tennis. It's Chanda Rubin and Elena Dementieva.
And we'll continue to remember that fabulous forehand volley save that was at 15-30. Go down 2 match points.
We'll try to forget the 2 double faults that Rubin served in that game. as you've been saying, we've been here before with Chanda. This doesn't mean, I mean, she's not going to be, she's obviously depressed by it, but it's not going to affect the way she plays. She will stay right here in this.
To her ups and downs in matches, and you can tell by her eyes she is very focused, still very determined to win this match in 2 sets. Great backhand up the line.
15-30.
It's an awkward overhead serve and volley play. Great serve, forcing Rubin to just send up a weak lob, but when you're coming in from the baseline to hit that lob, it's not the usual way you do it. Usually you're already at net backing up. Dementieva has not led in a set since 1-love in the first set.
4 in a row for Dementieva as she takes the lead in the set. Now it's 6-5. Rubin to serve to try to level when we come back.
Down there.
Live from the Staples Center, you're watching Chanda Rubin try to get to the last 4 of this year-ending championship. She led 5-2 after having won the first set behind 1 breaker serve 6-4, but she's lost the last 4 games. 15-love Rubin.
Yeah, 5-2 when serving, 2-break lead.
Points for Rubin. Send this second set into a tiebreak.
There's only been 1 tiebreak so far in this championship, and that was Sugiyama and Capriati a couple nights ago. I was just thinking there's a real imbalance here on the court, because on one side you have so much pressure, and on the other side, Dementieva, she's just out there swinging away. I mean, there's nothing riding on a little bit of cash if she wins, but no computer points. She can't get to the semis.
So give her that much more credit for not giving up when she was down 2 breaks in the second set, and because of her pride and her great competitiveness.
You see it so many times when a player who's down just suddenly, okay, starts to swing away and make very few mistakes. The other player gets a little tight, and that combination can get a string of 4 or 5 games in a row.
And this is a set point for Dementieva. I was going to ask you last game, you two, why it is that it seems so difficult to close things out rather than come back, and you just answered it.
The P word, pressure?
That's long, and Chanda Rubin has now lost 5 straight games to Elena Dementieva.